the dishes?
Dishes are not for a congressman, except on Saturday afternoon when the cook is out and the dishwashing machine is out of order.
Well, that's a set of circumstances I'll have to arrange more often. I am enjoying it.
Be careful, Mr. Morley. Your nesting instinct is showing.
My what?
Your nesting instinct. It's something women are born with. Men have to work a little harder.
I see. It sounds like the kind of an instinct that could get a fellow into quite a situation.
Oh, I imagine it could.
I hope that Steve had as nice a lunch at Nancy Beth's as I had right here.
Well, I hope he did not help her with the dishes.
Steve is too sensible to pay any attention to nesting instincts at his age.
Well, Stephen may be sensible, but I'm not so sure about Nancy Beth's mother. I know her from the PTA, and she's one of those mothers.
What is of those mother?
Carter's a very nice woman, but her nesting instinct is in full force. She thinks if Nancy Beth is not going steady by the time she's 15, she can look forward to a long life as an old maid.
Well, you can take my word for it that Steve is not going to be pressured into anything like that.
Well, you can take my word for it. Mrs. Carter can be a very sneaky woman.
Well, I'm glad that you are not a sneaky woman.
No?
Yeah. Well, excused?
Excused. Thank you.
Another cookie, Steve?
Thanks, Mrs. Carter. They sure are good.
Nancy Beth baked them.
She did?
From scratch. None of those prepared mixes for her. Oh, she's such a little homemaker. She cooks and she knits. And
I know. She's made me 5 pairs of Argyle socks.
that's because she's so fond of you, dear.
I guess she is.
I wouldn't be surprised if she's fonder of you than she is of Jeff Barkley.
No kidding?
Even though he is taking her to the Watusi party next week. But then that's to be expected when a girl isn't going steady with anyone. She's free to just flit around from one young boy to the next.
Did she knit Jeff any Argyles?
Why, I really don't know, dear.
Mother, I can't find your needlepoint anywhere. I looked upstairs and in the den.
Oh, darling, I'm sorry. It's been right here all the time. And now, if you'll both excuse me, I have dozens of things to tend to. Bye.
Nancy Beth,
Yes, Steve?
your mother just said something that got me to thinking. Oh, I'd probably have thought of it myself anyway. But, Nancy Beth,
Yes, Steve?
will you be my girl?
Oh, Steve.
I mean, will you?
Yes, I will.
Gee, gosh, thanks, Nancy Beth. Thanks a lot.
Oh, you're welcome, Steve.
Gosh, I never had a girlfriend before.
Oh, me neither. I mean, I never was anyone's before.
Oh, well, this isn't going to change anything, is it?
Oh, no. Except that you won't go to parties with anyone but me, and I won't go to parties with anyone but you.
If we're going steady, I guess you should have something of mine to wear.
I guess so. Then everyone would know.
This is the medal I won last week in the golf tournament. I brought it over to show you. Would you like to wear it?
Oh, Steve, it's the most beautiful medal I've ever seen.
Well, I guess I'd better be going.
Oh, do you have to?
Yeah, I've got to put some air in my bike tires before the gas station closes. They're very low. So long, Nancy Beth.
Goodbye, Steve.
There.
Oh, Steve, you're wonderful. Want some more popcorn?
Oh, no thanks. Not after that spaghetti of yours. I'm full.
Steve, you did it again.
Gosh, Nancy Beth, it's really nothing.
It is, too. It's part of the sky, and that's the hardest. What are you going to be when you're grown up?
I'm going into politics. What about you?
Oh, I just want to be a wife and mother.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about large families, Steve?
Well, I don't know. I come from kind of a small one myself.
So do I. That's why I think it would be nice to have about 8 children.
The mother and father, that'd make 10.
That's an awfully nice number. Don't you?
It's nice and big.
What do you mean?
The mother and father, that'd make 10.
I think that's an awfully nice number. Awfully nice number. Awfully nice number.
10. Yeah. 10. 10. My gosh, I'm due on the hill in half an hour. Good morning, dear.
Good morning, dear.
Good morning, children.
Daddy hold baby Kim? Yeah. Isn't she positively neat, Steve?
Neat.
Please, children, one at a time. Don't all hang over your father. Daddy, will you send Naruto cards? Daddy, will you play football with me?
I'm sorry, son.
You never play football with me.
I don't have time to play ball anymore. Ask your Uncle Danny to play ball with you.
Uncle Danny. Yeah.
Holy cow. Holy cow.
Did you say something, Steve?
Hmm?
I thought you said something.
Oh, yeah. I said I guess I better be getting on home.
But it's still early.
I just remembered. I have to mow the lawn.
At night?
Well, sure. That's the best time.
It is? Why, that's positively fascinating.
Well, thanks a lot for the dinner, Nancy Beth. It was swell spaghetti.
Next time I'll fix pot roast.
Swell.
I just love going steady with you, Steve. It's positively neat.
Me too. So, if you'll excuse me, I really have to go.
I'll spend the rest of the evening thinking of names for the children.
Swell. Well, so long, Nancy Beth.
Good night, Steve. See you tomorrow.
Dad, I'm only 15. That's too young to be worrying about my future. Well, you know all that stuff you said about my home and a career and a family and all that?
Well, I gather that you'd like to get out of going steady with Nancy Beth.
Well, yeah, if she's going to do all that dumb talking about babies, I would. You know how many she wants? 8.
Now that is a nesting instinct.
It's practically all she talks about. That and cooking and how would I like a blue and white kitchen and stuff like that. What'll I do?
Well, you could be honest with her and tell her you think you've made a mistake, that you both have.
No, that might hurt her feelings. I wouldn't want to do that. I like her. I just don't want to go steady.
I know just how you feel, Steve. Women can be terribly demanding.
Well, what would you do in my position?
Well, there are ways of getting out of this. I've done it dozens of times myself.
You have?
Oh, sure. There's nothing to it. But you do have to know exactly what you're doing.
What do you mean?
Well, let's say if a young lady tricks you into a given situation, you have every right to trick yourself right out of it again.
That is one of the most unprincipled statements I've ever heard.
Unprincipled?
Yeah, unprincipled. I do not think it's right for you to teach Stephen how to trick people.
Well, perhaps you're right. By the way, I don't seem to recall that the dishwasher repairman has been here.
No, so?
Well, I guess somebody took this out-of-order sign off the machine by mistake.
Guess who?
What's going on?
Boy, it's not important.
Steve, when are you going to see Nancy Beth again?
I invited her for dinner tomorrow night. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you.
That's all right.
I don't suppose you'd like to talk to her for me, would you, Dad?
Right. I wouldn't.
Katie?
It's your responsibility.
Boy, what a couple of pals you two turned out to be.
Steve, I'm not going to do your job for you, but perhaps I can give you a couple of pointers.
I could certainly use a few.
All right. Now, do you remember the story of Burr Rabbit and the Tar Baby? Where they had this bush of... Oh, Katie, would you excuse us? This is man talk. You remember the thorny bush? And what Burr Rabbit said to the Tar Baby?
The point is, Nancy Beth, that girls mature a lot faster than boys.
They do?
Well, sure. Because, well, they're born with the nesting instinct. Lots of girls are ready to be married by the time they're 18.
Oh, I'll probably be ready by the time I'm 17. My mother was married when she was 16. When do you think you'll be ready to get married, Steve?
Oh, not for a long time. Maybe never.
Never?
Well, probably not until I'm pretty old. Maybe 30 or 35.
Steve?
Well, since we're going steady, I thought I should get all these things out in the open.
That's 15 years.
Or 20.
Gosh. He's been a politician's son too long.
Is something wrong, Nancy Beth?
Well, no, not exactly. It's just that 15 years.
Or 20.
I think the world of you, and I don't exactly know how to say this, but
Oh, go ahead, Nancy Beth. You can be honest with me. I want you to.
I'm afraid I can't wait that long to get married and have babies.
Well, that's the risk I took when I told you.
I know, and I respect you for it. I'll always respect you for it.
I guess this means you don't want to go steady anymore?
I guess so. But I'll finish this pair of argyles for you.
Thanks, Nancy Beth.
Thank you for letting me wear your golf medal, Steve. I'll never forget it.
Neither will I. Shall we go in?
All right.
I don't ever want to hear an other word about how sneaky women are.
Who put the out-of-order sign on the dishwashing machine?
I?
Defense rests. Blue, I suppose.
That's one of my favorites, too. What color do you like with it?
Well, I think that orange goes well with blue.
Pass the cream, please, Nancy Beth.
Yes, Miss Holstrom. Mr. Morley,
Yes?
what size sock do you wear?
Well, 10 and a half. Why?
Excuse me for interrupting, but I think it's time the children were excused and let the grown-ups finish their coffee. Run along now. Danny, you have homework.
Better than hanging around with girls.
Of course, you realize what is happening. Nancy Beth is developing a terrible schoolgirl crush.
On whom?
On you.
Why, that's ridiculous.
It's true.
Katie, I'm too old to inspire schoolgirl crushes.
Mr. Morley, you're exactly the right age to inspire schoolgirl crushes.
Oh, you're an expert, I suppose?
I am. When I was Nancy Beth's age, I had a terrific crush on Mr. Gustafson. Oh, he was so handsome in his uniform.
Army or Navy?
He was the mailman. And I waited for him every day, and I looked at him exactly the way Nancy Beth is looking at you, with big, moony cow eyes.
Oh, Katie, well, thanks for the compliment, but I'm sure that in this case you're wrong.
I'm right. And if you don't do something to discourage her, you'll regret it. Now, little girls with crushes are like glue.
1 hour ago, she was Steve's regular girlfriend.
Well, that's part of being a teenager. Tomorrow, she may have a crush on Cary Grant or Mickey Mantle. On the other hand, she may remain true to you for quite some time.
Oh, now,
When
Katie.
I was true to Mr. Gustafson for 3 weeks, and I know they were the most miserable 3 weeks of his life.
Oh, Katie. Okay, what do I do now?
There's a classic solution to this problem.
All right, what?
Just follow me.
Now?
Warm enough, Mr. Morley?
Warm? What?
Oh, still chilly? Oh, poor thing. Well, I just get this nice black robe and put it over your poor knees.
My poor knees.
What's the matter with your knees, Mr. Morley?
Nothing.
Rheumatism, but he doesn't like to talk about it because he's so brave.
Gee, Dad, when did you catch rheumatism?
Oh, it started a long time ago when he started aging. Right, Mr. Morley?
What?
Oh, right.
He first noticed it when he suffered from shortness of breath.
Oh, my grandfather has that. He says it's one of the prices of old age.
Well, now, wait a minute.
Of course, Mr. Morley is not as old as your grandfather.
Thank you.
And when you're barely 20, he will be over the hill.
He will?
Unless, of course, he eats properly and does not take too many steps and has a nap every day.
But, Katie...
Bad boy, you did not have your nap today. Now, you will have to go to bed early to make up for it.
Well, I will not.
Now, not get excited. Tonight we will make an exception. Since he's enjoying the company of you young people so very much, would you care to join him in a glass of hot milk?
Oh, thank you, but I'm afraid I have to be going.
Oh, that is too bad.
I sort of promised my mother I'd be back early. Will you take me home, Steve?
Well, sure, if you don't mind riding on the handlebars.
Well, Mr. Morley would offer to drive you both, but, oh, his poor back has been troubling him so lately.
Oh.
All of a sudden, you're falling apart.
Stephen, that's no way to speak to your father.
Sorry, Dad.
Mr. Morley, I think you're a very brave and noble man.
Thank you, Nancy Beth.
I just hope that you live to see your grandchildren.
That's very sweet of you, Nancy Beth. Good night.
Good night, Miss Holstrom.
Hope you live to see your grandchildren.
Very funny. Well, I'll say one thing for her. She's probably set some kind of a record.
What do you mean?
Well, What other young lady that you know could go through 2 Morley men in less than 2 days?
A golden opportunity that may never come her way again.
Just think. A moment ago, I was an old wreck with rheumatism, shortness of breath, and an aching back.
Oh, Mr. Morley, even with rheumatism, shortness of breath, and an aching back, you would still be a golden opportunity.
Would I?
Yeah, you would.
Yeah. Steve,
What is it?
I'm sure glad you're not going steady anymore.
Me too. But it's an experience I wouldn't have missed.
Are Dad and Katie going steady?
I don't know. What makes you think so?
They were kissing.
Well, there's a much better sign of going steady than that.
What?
If she knits him argyles.
You know something?
What?
I'm glad there's such a thing as a nesting instinct.
Yeah.
This afternoon at 4 Eastern, a chronic invalid has her own reasons for not wanting to be cured on Medical Center. Then at 5, afternoon game show fun gets underway with Tic-Tac-Toe. Now, stay with us for the Patty Duke Show next on